I have always wanted wireless gear. And here we are. The good people at Xvive have sent me one. I have to tell you guys what I actually think of it. And it's very kind of them, but I will be honest, if it's terrible, you'll know about it. And as far as I understand it, this... Sorry to interrupt, but most gear reviews are boring. It's generally just someone reading from the back of a box. And I will go over the specs at the end, but for now, let's test it out. And to make sure we've thoroughly tested this piece of kit, we're going to put it through 3 tests. Test number 1, the open mic. I run and host an open mic night, and a few of the guys are singers, so they sing with the mic out of the mic stand. So I thought that'd be a great place to test it out and see how people get on with it.
I'm gonna roll myself up in a big ball, and
Step by me.
Test number 2 is the stress test. It's all good and well in an open mic scenario, but what about when you're at a bit more of an upbeat gig? So I gave the X5 wireless XLR to my mate Jake, who is the frontman of a band, and he is an active boy when he's on stage. He likes to dance around and get the crowd going and give it the beans, you know? So this seemed like the most sensible next test to see if this thing can withstand my mate Jake. Jake's been using wireless mics for a long time, and he said this one has the same specs as the other one he uses, but was far superior. He said it had better range, and he said it just feels really, really durable, which I agree with. It's it's quite a hefty piece of kit, and it just feels significant in your hand. It doesn't feel flimsy or like it's going to break. It feels robust. That's the word I'm looking for, robust. I left this with Jake for a little while, and he actually did a gig in a hotel yesterday, and he said he was testing the capacity for the range of this thing, and while he was singing, he actually went outside to the people who were sat on the benches outside and was singing at them outside of the venue, and he said he had no problems. The mic stood up and it was absolutely fine. So that's test 2, the stress test. But this leads me on to test 3. I've come to a little path to see how far we get. I brought the Mackie show box. I'm going to have it plugged in just like a normal XLR to there. I'm going to leave that on the path, hope no one steals it, and see how far I get before we lose signal. Let's see what happens. So we are set up with the show box. We have our XLR in the back. We've got the mic ready to go. So we are gonna hit record, and we should now be recording. So now it's time to give this guy some distance. So come with me while we go for a little walk and look like a crazy person, basically. Now, I will have no way of knowing when this has actually stopped, so that'll be fun. Basically, I have to go for quite a while, leave my little showbox and camera there. So at this point, the audio did start to get really, really shaky, and then I started to think how I'd plugged the receiver into the showbox on the back of it, and now that I'm walking away, both of those things are facing away from each other. What happens if I turn round? I would be very surprised if this is still working. Some of you can even still see where my showbox is. If this works, it is incredible, because it is all the way over there.
That is mad, isn't it? As long as I was facing the showbox where it's plugged in, I could get signal even this far away. Anyway, we've established it works. That's the important thing. Can it do the job we need it to do? So let's go and take a look at the back of the box and read some of the specs. They come in this cool little bag. I like stuff. This works exactly like an XLR cable. I am expecting this to be quite good. It's saying we get 5 hours of battery life. Less than 5 milliseconds latency. For those that don't know, latency is a delay in audio. You want your latency to be as small as possible. And that means that there's no difference in what you're doing and what you're hearing. It says it's got a wide frequency response, 20 hertz to 20 kilohertz, which is as much as the human ear can handle anyway. High resolution, 24-bit, 110 decibel dynamic range. And the wireless range is up to 100 foot, which is quite impressive, and I'm going to put that to the test as well. Well, I already did, and it passed. As long as you're facing the receiver, you can get an enormous amount of distance on this thing. So here we have it. We have a transmitter, and we have a receiver. We have a power button. Ooh. You can change when we're using it for a mic input or a line in. Very cool. So this receiver end, this is what you'd be putting in your mixing desk. And this end would be what's going in your mic. Let me grab a mic and show you what that looks like. So just like any XLR cable, this is just going to slot right in. There's no wires. And of course it comes with a charging cable. Okay, yeah. So we've got one standard USB, and it's actually got 2 wires, so you can be charging both the transmitter and the receiver at the same time. That's a nice touch, that. That is very cool. Woo-wee. So let's talk about it. So if you're looking for wireless gear, let's say you're a singer in a band or you sing to backing tracks and you want to be able to engage with the crowd more, you want to be able to walk into the audience and really get involved in it. That is what this allows you to do. And if you're thinking about buying anything wireless, you will have already done the research, right? You already know what the back of the box says and you already know what that means for you. So the reason you're looking at this video is to find out if it actually works, to find out if the things on the back of the box are true or are accurate, right? So yeah, the specs is great. It's very handy to know, but most of us aren't highly trained sound engineers. Most of us are musicians who just want to make a good sound. And we also want to reduce the amount of things that we have to worry about when we get to a gig. When you get to a gig, you don't want to have to worry about your gear. You want to be able to turn up, focus on the music, spend a bit of time tapping into the room and trying to work out what they might like to hear, and then delivering that as efficiently as possible. As soon as you know that there's technical difficulties anywhere, it makes it very hard to concentrate and get into the music, you know, to get into that flow state. So if you're in the market for a wireless XLR, then this thing really does the job. It really does. It's excellent. The range is excellent. So is it telling the truth about the range? Yes. Does it feel like something that's going to break in a week? No. Does it feel good in my hand? Does it make me feel confident in what I'm using? Yeah, absolutely. Does it do the job? It really does. You know, we've tested it out. We've tried it in a few different environments and it sounds great. From my experience thus far, it doesn't seem to interfere with the sound quality or the volume level or anything like that. And to be honest with you, we always think about microphones when we think about XLR cables, but that's not the only thing that these do. So for me, I run my guitar and my vocal into the Mackie Showbox, and then out of the Mackie Showbox into my first speaker, and then I would run an XLR cable, sometimes quite a long distance, to my second speaker there. So I've been using these to connect my 2 speakers. So I haven't mentioned the cost yet. I think these retail in British pounds for about £190, which yes, sounds like quite a bit of money. It might not seem like quite a bit of money to you, and more power to you. But for a musician, that's 1 gig, realistically. So if you're in the market for something wireless, you will be expecting to pay around that anyway. And this does the job well. So I say well done to Xvive. You've done a great job with this product. It's awesome. It works really, really well. I will use it on my open mics, absolutely, definitely. And I'm also going to use it fairly consistently depending on the venue for my speakers. When your speakers have to be really far apart, this thing is an absolute lifesaver. It really is. So go and check out Xvive. They make great products and this is a great product. I'd really like to have a look at their wireless jack to jack. So Xvive, if you see this, I hope this is useful. There's loads of stuff coming soon. I hope to see you on the next one. If you've enjoyed this, check out some of the other videos. But whatever you do, have a boss time. See you later. Yeah.